Hey YouTube, I'm back this time with my beauty empties for the month of November 2017. I've got quite a bit going on here, so I think I will just get started. So the very first thing I finished up is this giant Peck Sniffs 1 liter limited edition moisturizing shower gel in ruby orange and watermelon. I picked this up from TK Maxx quite a while ago. And at first I wasn't going to, but then I decided to because I thought that the fragrance was very unique, and it is. It kind of smells like Bubblicious gum, like watermelon Bubblicious gum. However, I said moisturizing because I found that these Peck Sniffs shower gels really were not. So if you think that Bath & Body Works shower gels dry you out, this definitely would. So it just seemed more appropriate as a hand soap. So while the fragrances were fun, and I did also use up a key lime and pineapple, or pineapple and key lime or whatever, while I thought they were fun, it just wasn't what I would have liked it to be, especially after springing for this for like 13 bucks. So yeah, like I would totally use it as a soap, but it's just not worth it to me. And speaking of which, I also used up this Peck Sniffs hand soap. This was in pineapple and key lime. Like I said, I liked it as a hand soap. It was fun as a hand soap. It was as moisturizing as I thought it needed to be. I guess so. I tend to be way more picky about my shower gels than my soaps, just in general. So while I thought this was fun, again, this is not something that was just totally amazing. So while I liked it, while I had it, I think I'm just ready to move on. The next thing that I finished up was another shower gel, or actually this was a body polish by Palmolive. Palmolive, I know you can get it in the US and various things, but it's a very common brand here for like shower gel and soap and things like that. So this is the Passion Fruit Body Polish. It's an exfoliating body wash. And I'm not sure how well you can see, but in here there are actually passion fruit seeds that do the exfoliating. So it's not especially coarse, like if you like the sugar scrubs from Bath & Body Works, it's definitely not going to be like that. But if you like the lighter scrubs, this would be a good one for you. So my boyfriend and I actually used this up together. I know that some people think that's weird, but I don't know, whatever. So we actually shared this, I guess, and we both really loved it. So I would totally recommend, if you can find it in the US, this Passion Fruit body polish. And they also have other fragrances too. At least for us, they do. They have coconut, you can get acai berry, and you can also get strawberry, but he really liked this one. So that will definitely be a repurchase, especially because one of our drugstores where we buy it is within walking distance. So that's that. We also went through another bottle of Tums. So I feel like I had one of these kind of like weirdly recently, and it's not like we eat these a lot, but for some reason I just happened to have a backup bottle that was mostly gone. So I don't know how that happened. I'm generally not one to have that situation, but it just happened for us. So I brought these over from the US. These are assorted berries, and there are 96 in here. So we really like these just whenever we're feeling generally icky, like just having a stomach that isn't settled. I would totally recommend Tums, and this flavor, these assorted berry ones, are pretty good too. The next thing that I used up is this Rexona Invisible Dry Spray Deodorant. And this is anti-white marks and yellow stains and sweat. So I get this kind because, as you can see, I wear black quite a bit. I also wear gray quite a bit. So I figured this would be a good buy for me. This is actually the second time that I've repurchased this. So if you have never heard of this brand, but this logo looks familiar, it's because it's sold under the name Degree in the US. I'm not sure if this specific thing is available in the US, but I imagine it is. So if you also wear a lot of black and white, then check out Degree and see if they have this particular product that's made for that. So the next thing that I finished up is this box of cotton wool tips. Kohl's is just, like I've said, one of the two biggest chain grocery stores here in Australia, and I had 240 of these. I use them not only to like clean my ears, but also just to clean up stray mascara and, you know, stuff like that, and it works really well for me. So I have repurchased these and definitely will continue to use them. I also used up this tub, and you really can't read it because this was sitting in my shower because it was a sugar scrub, but this used to say Ultimate Sugar Scrub, and this was in fresh kumquat. So a kumquat is a citrus fruit. It kind of smells like an orange, but not exactly. And even though this is something that I purchased at a farmer's market locally in Wichita, I just wanted to include it in my empties. Number one, because it is an empty. I went through it in my shower and it was very nice. But also number two, I would say, especially if you are like locally minded, I guess I could say, then definitely check out like vintage markets or design markets or farmers markets if you want to purchase something fun like this, but also be locally minded when you do it. So like I said, definitely check out those kinds of places because they can really have gems like these kinds of scrubs and natural lip balms and things like that too. The next thing I finished up is a Colgate Cavity Protection toothpaste. I thought this was just fine. We tend to use Colgate just in general, so I wish that Crest were a brand in Australia. I don't think that it is, but while I prefer Crest, like I like 3D white, this is good enough, I guess, so this is what I tend to use here. The next thing that I used up is another pack of simple micellar water cleansing wipes. I actually just repurchased these yesterday and I will show you them in a haul video. These have 25 wipes and it's what I use for removing makeup. So I used to go the liquid and cotton round route, but I've been traveling just so much, at least relatively speaking, so much in the last, 6 to 9 months of my life, that I'm finding that just having makeup wipes is just more conducive to that kind of lifestyle. So for that reason, I have switched over to these makeup wipes. My favorites are Nivea, Neutrogena, and then these simple ones. I also, and I've never featured one of these in an Empties video before, so the box looks really like janky anymore, but these are a box of 6 Biofinity contact lenses. And I actually have 2 of these boxes, so eventually there will be another one in my empties, but I have the same prescription in both of my eyes that I can just use from the same box and just keep going like that rather than having to use from two different boxes, which is really convenient. So yeah, they're from Cooper Vision. Again, they're Biofinity. I typically will wear Acuvue Oasis, that's kind of like my brand, but I decided to skimp a little bit on budget and get these Biofinity ones. However, I'm kind of regretting that. So these are okay, like they're good enough to get me by. However, I've definitely noticed that at least for me, and I don't have an astigmatism or anything like special, they're just like contact lenses, I guess. So I wish I would have gotten Acuvue Oasis. I feel like they just stay wet and comfortable longer. So like I said, these will get me by, especially if you're on a budget, these will be fine. But for me personally, I'd rather spend the money and get Acuvue again. The next thing I finished up was actually a hand sanitizer, again in Palmolive, and this is the Fig and Coconut. My local Kohl's was actually clearancing these out, I don't know, maybe like a month ago, and I was a crazy woman and I bought like 10. So the cashier was looking at me like I was insane. It's very possible that I was. But yeah, this is one of many that you'll start to see in Empties videos. So I do have a number of pocket backs from Bath & Body Works. I have 9, but you'll also see these too. So this one was 48 mils. That's about 1.6 ounces, just for a reference. So notably bigger, I guess, than pocket backs. But actually, I don't feel like this lasted very long. So it's okay since I have 9. But yeah, I thought this was a good fragrance. I'm not sure that this is available in the US, but if it is, and if you like Palmolive as a brand, perhaps look around for this kind of thing. The next thing I used up were a couple Mary Kay products. I have the Mary Kay Lash Primer. I actually took out the stopper, but I'm regretting that. Well, okay, I took it out because I just couldn't get any more on my wand. However, after taking out the stopper, it just became very goopy and it would just make my eyelashes clump together. So I used it for a while after that, but if you use eyelash primers, again, I would not recommend taking out the stopper. Maybe just toss it when you're done at that point. So I'm using this again with the stopper in, but yeah, I just decided to call it quits on this for now. The next thing also from Mary Kay that I used up is actually an eye crayon, and this is from Mary Kay at Play. It's a fun line that has a bunch of like fun things, I guess, beyond what Mary Kay just typically sells, and everything is $10, which makes it good because you can kind of just toss around the products and play with them. Plus, I think that Mary Kay has a good return policy. That's part of the reason why I have worn it for so many years. And again, this is an eye crayon. It's a creamy eye crayon in Over the Taupe. And I'm just at a point where I just can't sharpen anymore. It's too short. But yeah, this is it. And I guess it's not like a very good, I don't know, look at the color. But yeah, it's quite a dark brown. It has a little bit of a sheen to it, but not crazy. I thought that I had a backup, but apparently I don't. So if I still had a Mary Kay lady, I would totally purchase this again. But yeah, in general, I would recommend their creamy eye crayons. The next two things are actually declutter items that I've just had forever and I'm just no longer using. The first one is a Pure Ice nail polish in clear. I use this as a top coat. You can see that it's very liquidy, and I don't even know how long I've had this, but it's been years. So I was actually going through my nail polish a couple weeks ago and just decluttering a little bit of it. And yeah, I figured that this would go. So while this is really like old and gross, I used to wear Pure Ice all of the time, like back in the day in high school and in college. So if you're looking for a top coat or fun colors on a budget, I would recommend Pure Ice, and these are at Walmart. The other thing I'm decluttering is this Sally Hansen Crackle Overcoat. I bought a pack of 4 of these. I had a red, this one, a champagne color, and maybe like a black. Back when crackle nails were very trendy a couple years ago. I still like them from time to time. So I actually still have my champagne color because that was definitely my favorite one that I used the most, but I just never really used the blue ones. So it's a nice color, but as you can see, it's very runny anymore and just not working out. So in general, I would recommend Sally Hansen, but like I said, I've just had this forever and I just don't really use it. So you may notice, or have been noticing in my beauty empties especially, that I actually declutter quite a bit. And it's because after moving to Melbourne, I really changed my mindset about having things. Like, I'm definitely not a minimalist. It's really not a life goal of mine or a goal right now of mine. However, I've become very interested in the process of getting to a point where I'm living more meaningfully. So maybe around the new year, I'm thinking about actually taking you through things like my closet and my beauty stash and whatever, and showing you a method I've been very into that helps me you know, get rid of things I don't really care about and hold on to things that are very special to me, and how I kind of go through that process, simplify, and have a more meaningful lifestyle in that way. So again, I'll probably do that around the new year, but if you're interested in seeing my process and how I go through my clothes, shoes, things like that, let me know and comment down below, and I can definitely do a series about that, again, probably in the new year. So as always, please like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at YellowBrickExpat, same way it's spelled here. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.